Hello, everyone. Welcome to the mainstream. I'm your co-host, Aaron Bart, and I will be talking about the tech side of the mainstream. So we're going to be talking about a few things today. We're going to be talking about the Yodaphone 2, some new changes in Sprint, Firefox on iOS, a new way to replace your wallet, and also some note-taking apps. So let's get talking. All right, so there is a Russian cell phone manufacturer that is trying to release its brand new phone, the Yodaphone 2. Now, Yodo has really taken an interesting, outlandish idea and has made it into a really physical concept. Again, instead of supporting one screen like every other smartphone on the market nowadays, the Yodaphone 2 actually rocks two screens like its predecessor, the Yodaphone. The phone supports Android 4.4 KitKat, and it rocks a 5-inch AMOLED 1080p display on front and a 4.7-inch always-on electronic paper display around back that shows notifications like weather, time, sports scores, and other notifications. Powering this machine is a quad-core Snapdragon 800 processor with 2.2 gigahertz of CPU storage and a 2,500 milliamp hour battery. The cameras are also pretty standard for cell phones nowadays, with a 16 megapixel shooter on back with a 2 megapixel selfie cam on front, as well as a 1080p recording video camera at 30 frames per second. So my question is, what is the use, like what issue are they trying to solve? I kind of asked the same question when Samsung released the Galaxy Note Edge. It has a curve on the right side of the screen that shows you extra settings, and I personally just don't feel the need to have a built-in external display that is constantly showing notifications. I see the utility of it, but I just don't see it as a really consumer-friendly feature, because who wants to always see an always-on screen, because you can have all your notifications be seen by other people, and I personally like how notifications are dealt with now, like they are in the notification center. But I do give credit to Yodo for its originality. Now, I would like you guys to tell me what you think of the Yodaphone 2 on our Twitter at the mainstream on WFBNN. That is at the mainstream on WFBNN. Now let's talk about what's going on with Sprint. Now, Sprint has been in a competition with AT&T and Verizon for forever now, and Sprint really wants AT&T's and Verizon's market. In an effort to build the carrier's popularity, Sprint is introducing its new plan that they claim to cut your existing plan in half. This change is due to the company's new CEO, Marcellus Klauer. Now, Sprint is trying to make it easy for customers to switch over to its service. In order to do so, all you need to do is take in your current cell phone bill to either a Sprint store or share it online, and they'll find a plan that fits right in your price range. That'll fit right in your price range. Unfortunately, no good deed goes unpunished. If you want to go over to Sprint's new plan, you're going to be facing some regulations, of course. So first off, when switching to Sprint, you must turn in all your current AT&T and Verizon handsets. That is non-negotiable. If you're as forgetful as I am, you'll be facing a massive $200 non-return fee. So take that into account. You will also, you will also not be able to. You will have to have a monthly installment plan. So that's basically you have to pay for your phone each month. So you pay $25 for your phone. And also the final disappointment is if you're switching over a family plan, you have to provide new phones for all the lines that you bring over. Basically my advice is if you're really deciding to switch over to this plan, find a plan that you will be comfortable with for at least 2 years, because that's the standard cell phone contract time. And you really just don't want to be locked into a contract that you're not happy with and be paying some massive fee. Sprint also says that if you want to change plans, you're going to be having to pay the national fee. So basically, if you want to switch to another plan, you will not have the discount that you get with this upcoming plan. All right, we'll be coming back to the mainstream. We're going to go to some commercials.
Hello, and welcome to the Mainstream Sports. I'm your host, Hunter Konashevsky. Well, last night, the Flowery Branch boys and girls basketball teams played Clark Central. The girls came out victorious, and the boys lost a tough one. Their next game is this Friday at Heritage High School. Their next game is Friday at Heritage High School at 7:30 for boys, 5:30 for girls. Are the Braves still interested in keeping Justin Upton and Evan Gaddis? Here is MLB Braves reporter Mark Bowman with more on that.
We're going to welcome in MLB.com Braves reporter Mark Bowman. Mark's been one of our go-to guys on the Hot Stove Show so far this offseason. And Mark, it's one of the questions we talk to you about every time we get you on. Upton, Gaddis, do you still get the feeling that one of these guys is going to be moved?
Yeah. In fact, I don't remember exactly the last time we talked. I think maybe, but I'm going to guess that the last time we talked, I probably was leaning towards the possibility that both would end up being dealt, and that they would kind of, for lack of a better term, kind of throw in the towel in 2015, trying to strengthen the not only the major league roster, but the minor league system that's looking ahead to 2016 or 17. If I had to guess, based on what I've heard most recently, that probably just one of them gets moved, and that much more likely that Justin Upton is the one that gets traded. He'll be entering his free agent year, a walk year this year, and they could control Gaddis for another 4 years. And I think that they see that they'll go into these next few days leading up to the winter meetings, and during the winter meetings, talking to a number of clubs, and to help get back to where you were saying as we led in here. The Mariners, I still think that there's still a possibility that they could be a trade partner there with the Braves. That's just one of many teams.
Mark, Jeff Nelson, we heard the little rumor with Gaddis to the Astros, but we also heard that B.J. Upton had to be in that deal or could be in that deal because obviously they want someone to take that contract. How likely is that to happen, and where do you see B.J. Upton fitting next year if he is a Brave?
I think that's basically the only way you're going to move B.J., obviously. It's either bad contract, or, hey, if you want this guy this bad, then you've got to take B.J. as well. I don't think that that's going to happen. While teams may covet Evan Gaddis, it's putting that $45 million, commitment to B.J. Upton over the next 3 years. I don't think that they're going to get too many takers on that. That's something that you do offer in November, or try to get done in November, just to see if there are any takers. I do not see that happening. I think most teams will back away like the Astros do. Maybe there's another deal with the Astros that does not include B.J. Upton. Something where Dexter Fowler could come back. He was one of those names mentioned with the Astros rumor there. But I do not see B.J. Upton getting moved this winter. It's something they'll continue to look at different ways to, like I said, maybe swap back contracts. But if I had to guess, they're going to just have to hope that the addition of Kevin Seitzer, bringing him in as a hitting coach, a new year, You just pray that maybe you get some value out of this guy this year.
Well, that's the question. What will the Braves do? Here we go. Big question going around the nation lately. Is Johnny Football, will he start for the Browns? Here is ESPN's Ed Witter on that. Well, the video wasn't really working, but I could just tell you what they talked about. Ed believes he will, and I think he will as well, start for the Browns. I know Manziel is definitely a better runner than Hoyer, their quarterback. But the thing is, they talked about Hoyer being more of a playoff-based kind of quarterback. If they stick to Hoyer, they're going to think that Hoyer will take them to the playoffs. But Johnny Manziel, this is the perfect time to put him in. First-round draft pick. Why not give him a start, because he's only going to build from here. So the more starts he gets, the more playing time he gets, Johnny Manziel will take his skill, and hopefully lead the Browns to go far in the playoffs. So, well, more talk about LeBron James. Here's some differences between LeBron James and the Cavaliers and the Heat. There's a lot of controversies of whether he's doing better on the Cavaliers or the Heat. So first we're going to go back to Tech Talk, and we'll be right back on that, back to sports. So commercial break here.
They say our generation doesn't know who they are, but
All right, we're going to jump right into talking about Firefox. Now, Firefox, as you may know, is an internet browser built by Mozilla. Now, what they're trying to do is they're trying to build an app for iOS, so iOS users can use their software as well. But Mozilla's trying to kind of hit in a roadblock because Apple, as always, is telling them that they will not publish the Firefox app. Now, the reason that this is happening is because Firefox is wanting to use its own code to build the app. It wants to use its own web services. It just basically wants to have complete control over the app, which is understandable because there are some features that are unique to Firefox that can't really be recreated on a separate person's code, but that's still not stopping Apple from telling them no. Chrome had this issue that they wanted to use their own software, but they ended up using Apple's in-house code. And that will probably most likely happen with Firefox. They'll most likely go to using Apple's code. And that might result in some features not being there completely. But if you're really a dedicated Firefox fan, then Mozilla's going to get you covered. They're going to put the app on the App Store as soon as they can, even if they can't put all the features in there. Let's switch over to what companies want to do with your money. So everyone wants to replace your wallet nowadays. It seems like Apple with its Apple Pay that they just released in October. Google Wallet has been that's been going on for a good 2-3 years, and these things just never seem to catch on. We haven't seen what Apple Pay has fully come to, but we will report on that when that happens. But it just seems like the wallet, or just the payment industry in general, is trying to move to having all of your payments on your phone, or just basically just with you to get rid of your wallet. Now, there's a company that is called Coin, where they have come up with a really unique idea. Coin is a new credit card concept where your entire wallet is on one card. Now, the only difference that you'll find with Coin is that there's a display on it that shows you what card you're using, and also a button that lets you switch through the cards. Now, setting up Coin is pretty simple. They send you a free card reader in the mail to help you swipe your cards into your phone. You download the app, you set up all your settings, and you just flick through your Coin and see all your cards, and you just go on your way. And it works just like an ordinary credit card would. You can put gift cards on there. You can put your Visa on there. It's just really convenient to have it all in one place. Now, the only downside to this issue is that you cannot withdraw money from an ATM. So that will probably be an issue that Coin will face when it comes to consumer markets. It's still in beta testing right now, but they're going to get there eventually. We're going to go to some apps that I think students could really use just in general, and it would really improve their school just experience, in my opinion. One of the major things, what are just some major things that we do as students? We take tests, we do projects, and that's about it. But the major thing that we do that really determines how we do well in school is notes. And our associates at The Verge have really looked in and to see what the best note-taking app is. Let's go to that.
And who knows what else. A really good note-taking app can handle anything, anywhere, at any time. And that's why Evernote is the best note-taking app on the planet. And it's the best on almost any platform, too. It can be a little unwieldy at first, but it's so incredibly powerful that it'll always be able to work with whatever you're doing. If you just want to keep a list of text notes, there's great organization, tagging, and sharing built into both iOS and Android. You can also clip from the web to Evernote, or take pictures, or use the reminders feature to make a to-do list. Evernote works everywhere, which is one of its best features, and I mean everywhere. iOS, Android, Mac, Windows, the web, Windows Phone, even BlackBerry. But the best thing about Evernote is when you turn it into a huge repository for everything, from great reads to funny GIFs to class notes, and you'll know it's all there when you want it later. Technically, Evernote is free, but for $5 a month or $45 a year, you get better offline access, better search, and more security. I pay for it just to have offline notebooks on my phone, but whether or not you do want to pay for it, Evernote is still the best note-taking app on the market. Its only real competition is OneNote, Microsoft's great note-taking app that's finally come from Windows to other platforms too. OneNote is structured just like a standard notebook, which I like on the desktop, but it can get a little bit overdone and confusing on a smaller screen. Still, it's incredibly powerful, it's free, it syncs to lots of different platforms, and it'll take pretty much anything you throw at it. If you're not in love with the way Evernote
All right, we're going to go to commercial, and we'll be right back with Sports Talk when we come back.
Remember that chapter 1 through 5 is due tomorrow. Carly. Carly. Carly! I don't need this!
So you dropped out at the age of 17.
Yes, sir.
Did you get a GED?
No, but,
So you have no education whatsoever?
well...
Next!
In the United States, 1.2 million high school students drop out before graduating. Today a reader, tomorrow a leader. Stay in school.
Back to the LeBron topic. Many people think there are some differences with LeBron and the Cavaliers and on the Miami Heat. Here's ESPN's thought about that.
At this season through 15 games versus his first year with the Heat through 15, team was 8-7 in both, and he was putting up about 24 points per assist and rebounds similar too. Similarities are there. What about this Cavaliers team versus that first year with the Heat? How different are these two scenarios, Tom?
I think it's
Well, look, surprisingly the same when it comes to those numbers, but here's what's different, and it's the chemistry equation. In Miami, the challenge was the duplication of LeBron and Wade and how they scored the ball and where they occupied space. But all those guys were at the same point in their career. They had been proven. They had been to the finals, or Bosh had had success in the playoffs, and they were all ready to just come together for the real goal of championship. Here in Cleveland, these guys are unproven. They're still grabbing for greatness. Kyrie, as much as he's accomplished, is still becoming what he's going to be. He's on the climb. Kevin Love has not been in the playoffs. LeBron is surrounded by a cast that has no proven history of winning or establishing what they are personally as people, players on the court. So this is a huge challenge for him to try to mesh all this together and lead them and come up with some cohesive way, because he can always just take over and do it on his own, but he's trying to get them to find that right role in the pecking order with an unproven rookie coach from overseas. So big challenges for LeBron this year to get the chemistry equation right.
Yeah, it's the first step in changing a losing culture. The Cavaliers, they've won 3 in a row. They take on the Bucks tonight before heading out on a 3-game road trip. Good to have you with us, Tom Penn, this morning.
Well, Mike Miller signed with the Cleveland Cavaliers to help himself and LeBron James win another NBA championship. So far, Miller has only received spot minutes from head coach David Blatt, and that might continue for most of the regular season. Your Atlanta Hawks played last night, beating the Celtics 109-105. The Celtics shot a blistering 61.4% in the first half and built as much as a 23-point lead, then stumbled their way through another disastrous second half that allowed Atlanta to emerge with a 109-105 triumph at the Phillips Arena. Despite falling by 9 with 3:35 to go, a head-shaking 32-point swing from a late first-half lead, Boston rallied within 2 with the ball with 23 seconds to play. Jeff Green had a chance to draw a foul after getting his defender in the air, but instead drove and missed a pull-up jumper. Atlanta pulled away with the win. The Hawks play tonight against Miami Heat. The Heat may need to top triple digits to keep up with the surging Hawks in Wednesday night's rematch, and will almost certainly need a better defensive performance than the last meeting. Dwayne Wade began his 7-game absence due to a hamstring injury in that defeat. He had a season-high 27 points in his return Sunday, then scored 20 in Washington. The Hawks have won 3 in a row over the Heat, but all those games were in Atlanta. They lost each of their last 5 visits to Miami, but went to overtime before falling 121-119 in the most recent one on December 23rd. Big news for the NBA. Kevin Durant has been stepping it up. Here's a video on how he's doing.
Kevin Durant back for them after missing the first 17 games of the season with a broken foot. They didn't miss him too much. They were 5-12, right? How did he look tonight, Bruce?
But, you know, he looked good. You know, the fact that when you look at a player that's coming off a foot injury, is he favoring anything? Is he a little hamper coming off screens? As you see, that's textbook for him, catch and shoot. And then on the post, still making moves without favoring anything. You want to see him fall a couple of times and get back up. But this is what I enjoyed most right here. It's not being afraid to necessarily attack closeouts. And, you know, here we go. I'm sorry. Now we have the attack and the closeout. But, again, you got Russell Westbrook in there doing his thing as well. He ain't gonna
pass it.
Well, you saw this before. And it takes time for them to get on the same page.
All right, third quarter now. Thunder trying to come back. They were down 19, and Durant leading that comeback. Watch this. Doesn't look injured to me.
No, you know, the crossover in transition, it's all set up because he shoots the 3-ball so well. Guy bites on a little hesitation there, and he gets all the way to the rack.
Fourth quarter, Pelicans up 9. Tyreke Evans finishing that one off. Pelicans go up 11. And then Anthony Davis with the pass, the assist from the big fella. Evans had 15 in the fourth quarter as the Pelicans win it 112-104. As for Kevin Durant, 27 points. He played 29 minutes, 34 seconds. They said he'd play about 30 minutes. That's pretty much about 30 minutes. But the star of the night has to be Davis. Look at this. Anthony Davis, 25.
Well, that's going to do it for today's show, the Mainstream and Tech Talk with Aaron Bart. I'm your host, Hunter Kanashewski. Have a great day.